Hey, sports fans, Larry Eder, Run Blog Run, Socialing the Distance. Today, we have him back, Grant Holloway. He said he'd be back to see us at the Olympic trials. Grant, I love you, man. Good to see you.
I'm a man of my
You
word.
are.
I have much love for you. I have much love for you. So, it's at least that I know it took a while, and I know it's not exactly what this is. Almost probably about a month after I ran, give or take.
Don't worry about it, buddy. I'm surprised you've been to Europe too, right? Did you go for like a week?
Yeah. Went to Europe. I ran at Budapest. 13:08 after travel and jet lag and everything. So, I'm staying consistent. That's the main thing for me. As long as I stay consistent, as long as I'm healthy, as long as I'm executing at a high level with, great athletes, great other competitors in my race, then I'm very happy.
When I go to Europe, it takes me about 3 or 4 days to kind of get my body to feel good, and then I'm pumping myself up with espresso. How do you do? You were over there just for 2 days, weren't you? Before you?
Yeah, I was there for 5. So I travel. Wow. I had to travel. I kind of lose the travel day, so that's a day. 2 days in itself. I had 2 days to get my body ready for competition on the 3rd day, and then on the 4th day, I was basically out. But I went there because the meet director and I have this bond, have this relationship with one another. So I'm always, like I said, I'm a man of my word. With everything I do, that's all I have in this world. Is what I say, and the actions that I do. For me to have that, and say, I'm coming back is, it means a lot to me. So I went over there, did what I had to do, saw Orlando, saw Sergey, saw Ronald Levy, some great competitors that I'm gonna, see at the Olympic Games. Had a great run, 13:08 after everything. I'm staying consistent all around the board. So that was the main thing. Go there, have some great competition, see some familiar faces, and get back home and get back to training.
Well, Martin July, the guy who puts on the meet over there, is a great guy. And, there's a great team at that meet. And, they're going to put on the world champs in 2023, which should be a lot of fun, too. So, it should be pretty cool. Let's talk about the Olympic trials. The first round, pretty mellow for you?
Yeah, first round was mellow. I think it was nice to have. I think that set me up the next day to run fast. 13:11 was like, I think at that time was like my 13:07, my 3rd fastest time of the season. So to me, to go out there and just drop that bomb while everybody else was still trying to run 13:3 and 13:2 and everything like that, I think I kind of just set the tone for the next day. And then the next day, 12:81 just speaks for itself. I didn't know I was running that fast. I really didn't. But when Aries, every time I talk to Aries, he was like, you won't know what it feels like until you do it. So now that I know what it feels like, I know how to perfect it. But I'm not really too worried about it at this point in stage in my career, especially with the Olympic Games coming up here in about 15 days or so. My main goal is just to run, get across the finish with everybody else, and we'll see whatever time pops up, it pops up.
When you ran the final in 12:96, you looked totally in control. How did you feel during the final?
The final, I think it was just, I just maintain and get to the finish line. It was so hot.
Yeah.
It's just, I had started cramping a little bit at the end of the race, but I don't make excuses. You guys know me. I don't make excuses. If I line up on that line, doesn't matter who I'm against or what I'm doing, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it, 110%. And if I fall short, then it's on me. It's on nobody else. If I come up big, it's on me. It's on nobody else. But just at the end, I think I started, started to feel the heat and everything come upon me. But, I made it across the finish line. And that day, I double PR'd. My PR before that was 12:98. For me to go out there and run 1 and then 12:96, hey, that speaks volume of everything that I've been doing. So me and Coach Holloway are clearly on the right track.
Compare the heat in Eugene with the heat you experienced at home. Was it hotter in Eugene?
It was just hot. Eugene was just hot. here in Florida, you have that humidity, so
yeah.
The one things where you just try to get used to it as much as you can, and you figure out what exactly you're trying to do. But I think I was fully prepared. I just think it doesn't matter who you are or what you were doing. It was just a hot day in general for everybody. I mean, Talia Brooks, God forbid, had that accident. But I mean, hey, she got back up. She just said, "Look, it was just hot. There was nothing I can do. I hydrated. I did everything. I had a good dinner. She did everything that she could do. But now, it was just hot." But all in all, I mean, the Olympic trials was hands down one of the best meets that Grant Holloway has ever had. Now it's time, and now it's that part of our career, like Alan Johnson said, was if you stay consistent with those times and you stay consistent with everything that you do, consistency leads to greatness.
Mm-hmm. Now you're going to Tokyo. I've been in Osaka for the champs, and it was as humid and hot as Florida. So I think you've got that on a lot of people too, having that experience. When do you head over?
Head over on the 24th, so this Saturday. Saturday to Atlanta to Tokyo, and then I stay. I run the first round on the 3rd, second round on the 4th, the final round on the 5th. Have a medal around my neck on the 6th. The running joke is I'm 4x4 reserve on the 7th, and then I return home. Are
you going to go to Europe after the Olympics, or have you not determined that yet?
It's not determined. The main goal this is the main goal that I've been, chasing for 5 years now.
Sure.
Get to the Olympic Games, get a medal around my neck, and then we'll figure out whatever happens. This year has been nothing but positive for me. So if I have to keep the season going, I will. But then at the same time, it's like if I achieve everything that I want to achieve on my checklist, then that will be that.
Mm-hmm. There has been something I haven't asked you about. There's been a lot of talk in the media about the new track spikes. Adidas's product is second to none. I mean, I raced in them back in the 70s and 80s, and obviously you guys have got great product now. Do you buy into that hype that I get a little frustrated when I hear people talk about the shoes because they say it's all about the shoes. I'm a little more athlete focused. I think that one of the reasons why you guys are running well is because you've had the time to work with coach and really focus on your goals. And so that 15 months of training is one of the reasons why you guys are doing it. How do you talk about that? Or do you care?
Mindset. I was able to run 7:35 and 12:98 and Nike spikes. And now I'm able to run 7:29 and 12:81 in Adidas spikes. It doesn't matter what spikes I wear. I feel like the hard work is done with me, the athlete, with me, with me, coach. Shoes are just, it's whatever you think. It's just one of those mind games. It's just like KT tape. If you put KT tape on the hamstring, it changes the psychological in your brain saying like, okay, it's going to be better. It's going to feel better. And that's what it does. It makes it feel better. But, KT tape is all about mind games. And I think spikes are the same thing as well. Like if I work hard in a shoe, it's going to show on the track, not because it's the shoe, but it's because of the athlete wearing the shoe.
What is the biggest improvement you've had in your racing in the last year and a half? What part of your race has improved?
Really, I think it's just me and Coach Holloway figuring out a race plan that works best for me. It's easy, of course, but this outdoor season, I mean, from 2019 all the way to now, I was able to improve from 1349 from my freshman year in college to 1281. So you think it's just always just improving on something, From indoors, I go from 7:35 to 7:29. Outdoors, I go from 12:98 to 12:81. So, that's the accumulation of a start and a finish. I think it's just me getting stronger, me going into my body, figuring out what exactly I like, what exactly I don't like. And I really think it's just, me and Coach Holloway building that bond and really understanding like, okay, Grant's very dominant here, but where does he need work on here? Okay, let's add the dominant piece, and then let's work on that ending piece or whatever we need to work on. But I'm really in tune with figuring out what makes Grant Holloway click, stuff like that. So that's where I'm at now, and I think I have a great race plan. I really enjoy what my race plan consists of. Now it's just one of the things where you perfect it. You just keep going.
What you'll have a couple days or 4 days in Tokyo before you start to compete?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and you'll be in the athletes' village?
Yeah, I'll be sleeping on some cardboard boxes.
I know. I'm reading that, and I'm just going, oh my God, no! Someone doesn't have anything to write about today,
Yeah,
because it's all over the Twitter world, and I'm just cracking up so bad. But it's something goofy each time. So at the end of the day, it's about racing.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's about racing. At the end of the day, I don't know how many athletes are at the Olympics. I'm just going to say 32 because I think that goes with all the rounds. But all 32 athletes have to deal with the same exact thing. With me, in my case, I've been stepping out of my comfort zone this whole week, just trying to face making myself go through adversity. And I think sleeping on those boxes or whatever the bed may be, I think I'm going to be more mentally tough than anybody else there. And, it's literally another hurdle that we got to get over. And I'll make sure, at the end of the day, I'm 110% ready for whatever comes my way.
Do you know who your roommates are?
No, I cannot even tell you. Team USA is own roommate, so it'll be interesting to see what they say.
Yeah, I was curious. I didn't know if you guys got to talk about that or if you had any say on any of that at all. So how excited are you to go to the Olympics?
I'm excited, but then I'm not excited with everything going on right now, to be honest. COVID cases are going crazy, not only in Japan, but in America right now. So it's just, do we really have an understanding on COVID? And then on ESPN today, I'm at lunch with a couple of the guys, and it's a headline: should Team USA pull out of the Olympics? So it's just so much stuff going on around right now. My main thing is like, if I don't have to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. My main goal is just working on the craft and making sure that I'm prepared for anything that happens.
Well, then we're going to talk about competition. We're going to keep it at that because that's what it's all about. And like you said, everybody's dealing with all the other stuff. I was speaking with an Olympic medalist one time, a Scottish runner named Ian Stewart, and he ran the 5,072. And he told me, when you get to an Olympic final, there are, 8 to 12 people in that final, and that there's so many that have talked themselves out of the winning already, but there's probably 4 or 5 are legitimate athletes. Do you worry about the other athletes when you compete, Grant, or do you focus just on yourself and what you can control?
My lane, my space, my hurdles, my pair of blocks, first one to the finish line wins. Literally the only mindset you have to think about.
When I went and pulled a picture of you from Doha 2019, it's this big still, man, okay? And I'm seeing Mr. Ortega rolling on the ground, and I'm seeing you look straight ahead, and I'm watching other people look around them. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wanted to ask you that question, because I've seen that picture before, and you just kind of keep it, you keep it very focused. Is that something that coach and you work with every day? When you're out there doing workouts, do you kind of like go, okay, man, this is all about what I'm doing right now. I've got to stay in the moment.
I think that's just a championship mindset. You as the athlete, you find ways to focus on you. A true champion doesn't worry about other people around them. A true champion figures out, okay, it's going to take me 12 seconds to complete this race. How can I be the first one in 12 seconds to get to the finish line? And that's the mindset I have in not only in the hurdles, but even if you put me on the 4x4, okay, it's going to take me 43 seconds to get around this track. How fast can I get around this track against everybody else, in this event? And that's just my mindset with life, Of course, there's going to be other people, compete against you, trying to figure out things and ways to beat you. But if I execute my race plan every single time, you don't stand a chance at that point. So that's just my mindset going into it. I feel like some athletes just focus on, too many, other athletes, and the next, they don't talk themselves out of the race, or something done happen. They're not used to, focusing on them and them. But, I focus on me and I keep it pushing.
When did you know, when was the first time you said, God, I would really like to compete in the Olympics, and I think I could do really well there? Were you in high school?
2012. Yeah, I was in high school watching Aries Merritt in 2012. Aries, that was, of course, Aries' year when he broke the world record, but every race, leading up to it, 12-9, 12-9, 12-9, 12-9, 12-9, 12-9, 12-9, 12-9. Guess what again? 12-9. And then finally he goes to 12-8.
Yeah. No, it was funny because I had spent a few days with him in the springtime, and we were talking about competition and what he wanted to do. And then I got to be with him right after he set the world record. And I said, did you know you were going to set the world record? He said he'd had a couple really races where he thought everything was almost perfect. And then he had a wake-up call, and then boom, he said he was all there, And Gail Devers said the same thing to me. When I remember watching Gail, I could always tell when Gail was ready to roll, because she'd be literally so close to the hurdles. I didn't think you could put a piece of paper between her and that. And you get to that place where you are so close over the hurdles, you're clearing them, but you don't give them an extra quarter of an inch. And that's what I'm fascinated with, It's like when you're on, like when you did the 1281, there was, I've watched that race 20 times now, and I'm going, okay, there's going to be something he knows he can improve. Yeah. But I'm looking at it, I'm kind of going, man, okay, I'm not sure. It was a beautiful race, and that's why I teased you from the stands that you were teasing us, and the next day it cracked me up so bad, but what was the feeling when you made the Olympic team? Was there a sense of relief?
Relief, but then also like the job's not finished. There's nothing to celebrate, My goal this year was to be an Olympic medalist, and becoming an Olympian was part of that process. So, sure. My goal this year was to break the indoor and outdoor world records, and whatever came with that, I break both records, but then also, be an Olympic medalist. That was my goals for this year. So me going through that track meet was just another track meet for me. Going forward, as I get closer to the realization of my goals, I think I'm really looking forward to just everything else. But I think it won't hit me until August 6th when I'm on that podium.
Okay. Talk to me about the relays. Are you very interested in doing that?
I can't comment on the relays only because I don't know what will happen. I told Coach Holloway, I'm the best fifth man in track and field history. The term fifth man comes because, in basketball, there's a sixth man. But I told Holloway, I'm the best fifth man in track and field history. It doesn't matter if it's 4x1, 4x2, 4x8, 4x4, shuttle hurdle. If you need me to come off the bench, I'm ready. And only reason why I don't want to comment too much is only because my focus, energy, mindset, everything is towards these hurdles. After I get my medal around my neck, after everything is good, after I sign all the babies' foreheads for the 110 hurdles, then my mindset can shift and focus. Okay, if you need me for this event, you let me know. If you need me for this event, you let me know. Please, I'm ready. I'm here for you. But right now, my everything is focused on these 110 hurdles. These 10 hurdles, this one pair of blocks, and the first person to the finish line to get it. That's what happens when you do everything through your phone. You can get easily.
You have an iPhone?
Yeah, I'm on an iPhone right now. Internet. Look, you don't know what you realize. You don't know how much you need internet until you lose it for good.
Oh gosh. Well, it's so funny because I remember being in China for the first time, and I was literally climbed up the Great Wall, and I was sending a picture back to my son, right? and everything's cool. I get back to Wisconsin and I can't get the dang phone to work, and I'm kind of going, this is just so absurd, And it's like it was funny because when I was over there, a kid saw that I was American, and we were talking. And he goes, "Do you know who Kobe Bryant is?" And I go, "Oh yeah." I go, "Yeah, I interviewed him back in in the mid '90s." And his dad's going, "Wow," And these are Chinese kids, and I'm just kind of going. It's just telling you how incredible sports is, and how it's a tool to communicate. How do you? We've talked about this before. There's sometimes when I watch track meets on TV, they look pretty darn good, and they give you guys the coverage and respect you deserve. But there are other times when the TV isn't done that well. Are there questions that TV commentators should ask you to help non-sports people understand the hurdles? I mean, and I'm just curious about that. What do you think they should ask you?
I mean, it starts with the relationship with, who's interviewing you. I mean, I've been interviewed by Lewis Johnson, Otto, I think Larry, Lee, Sonya. I'm friends with all of them, and I think they will all say they're friends with me as well. But I think it just comes with relationship because me and you have a great bond, so it's easy to break down the image, see what it looks like, and everything like that. Versus if I don't know somebody, then they're just asking a question, and I'm going to give them the however their energy is when they give me the question. That's going to be the energy when I reciprocate it back. It all just starts with a relationship. Even if the reporter or the announcer is at the track, when they're practicing and warming up and stuff like that, that's the slightest thing that can happen. But then it just starts with a relationship. I think that's half the battle.
One of the nice things about the Olympics is it is the most spectacular sporting event on television, and NBC puts the technology into it, so it's like you're just right there, and it's going to bring new people into the sport. Why do you love the hurdles?
I mean, it's a combination of everything, sprinting, hurdling, jumping, strength, power, speed. I mean, I think it's just an all-around sexy event. It's just like the 100, but you have a little bit more obstacles in your way, literally. I just like the hurdles just because it fits me perfectly. I'm a fast sprinter. I can hurdle. I can jump. I'm an all-around athlete.
What kind of kid should go in to try the hurdles?
Any kid that wants to be the best ever, in my opinion.
Okay. Do you think the 110 hurdles is the toughest event in track and field?
No, I would say 400-meter hurdles or the 800 is definitely one of the hardest events right now.
Could we say that the 110 hurdles is the most precise?
Yes. If every step, everything that you do has to stay on point. Everything has to stay right there.
When I asked Ronaldo a couple times what was the key to being a great hurdler, he said it's the ability to have control and let control go. And I watched him a couple times look at athletes, and I said, is this person going to set a world record? And he'd just go, no. I've never asked him about you. I haven't got to see him since the pandemic, but I know that he would admire you. He admired Aries. And, but he also said how tough the event was, and that's the thing that I look at as I see the quality of what you put into it. How often can you race at your level in the hurdles? Can you do it week after week for 7 or 8 weeks, or is that a long time for you?
If they say I need to go week after week, I definitely will. But for the most part, if not, I mean, it's kind of just whatever my coach expects from me and everything that I do. For the most part, if they need anything, from the demand of the hurdles, it's just one of the things where I just continue just to go forward and make sure it happens.
If you weren't going to be a hurdler, what event would you do in track and field?
Probably, I'll probably test my waters in the open 400. I think I can hit a pretty good 400, but I love the hurdles. I really do. With that being said, don't think after one of these off years that after all these years of world champs and Olympics, I don't try to branch off somewhere.
Would we ever see you do the decathlon?
Yeah, we were just talking about that at lunch today. It's up in the air. I always wanted to try at a high level, but we'll never know. The main goal is right now is to stay focused on the now and not really try to get distracted on anything else. So next time we talk, which I know we will, ask me that question.
Okay, cool. What did you think of Karsten Warholm's world record in the 400 hurdles?
Absolutely beast. Absolutely. That's literally all I have to say. I'm looking forward to this matchup. Karsten Warholm versus my good friend Mr. GQ himself, Roy Benjamin.
Yes.
If you ask me who will win, I couldn't tell you. If you ask me who's been hard, they've both been working hard. If you ask me if I had to choose one person and they'll make me they'll keep me alive for the rest of my life, I feel like I still have to pick indecisive, because I think both of them are great athletes. I think both of them are going to get the job done. It's just a matter of fact of who gets to the finish line first that day.
Do you think competition like that is good for the sport? Rivalries like that are good for the sport?
Absolutely. It's up to both of the athletes just to not get caught in the now and just let it happen. Let the media and let the reporters do what they need to do to build the story. As an athlete, you focus on you and you figure out your race plan and you make sure you execute at a high level and get there.
Do you spend any time thinking about whether there's going to be a crowd or not a crowd in Tokyo?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a crowd, but it doesn't bother me. On 729, okay. I was able to run 729 without a crowd, so I think I'll be able to run fast without a crowd outdoors as well.
The indoor record you broke, Colin Jackson had held it for over 3 decades. How important was that for you to get?
Not important, but to let the world know that I'm here to stay. I liked it. Do I still feel like I am not getting the respect that I deserve? Absolutely, but that's just me being biased to, keeping some type of fire lit in my stomach. Do I feel like people know that I'm here to stay? Absolutely. But do I have to constantly remind people that I'm working hard and doing things? Absolutely.
What? How much time do you spend on social media each day?
Maybe an hour and 24. 1 hour out of the 24.
Okay. And do you play games still too? You're still playing your games, right?
But as it's these last couple of months have been very, very busy, and I can't be playing games right now because I don't have internet connection.
That's the challenge, right?
Yeah, man.
What do you do to relax?
Right now, I'm just keeping my mind busy, figuring out things and everything that I need to do. For the most part, it's basically just finding ways just to keep the mind busy. Whether that's cleaning, getting stuff done around the house, figuring out what I need to do. I just try to keep myself busy.
Do you have a song or a musical group that psychs you up before races or that kind of gets you in your place?
Not really. I kind of just go with the flow. Okay. Whatever I'm feeling that day, okay. I play.
Are you a big Netflix fan?
Yeah. I've been watching Manifest right now, but I haven't been able to do much stuff just because I like to binge watch things. So as it gets closer, I'll play it again. But for right now, I'm just sitting back and relaxing.
When you're on long flights like you've got to Tokyo, what do you do? Do you read? Do you binge watch? Do you just veg?
I'll watch a couple of movies that I always want to watch, download them, buy them, and as things get, I'll figure out ways just to, cope with it. I kind of just go with the flow.
Give me Tell me who you think the 4 best 110 hurdlers are right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
not that'll be the next question. I'm curious about who you see right now in the world.
Grant Holloway, Stanley Grant Holloway, and Grant Holloway.
Okay. Who are the 4 greatest of all times?
Aries, Merritt, Grant Holloway, Eugene, Darren Robles.
I like that you put Eugene in. I really liked Eugene. I loved his style. And Darren he had the greatest Fidel Castro shirt with his beret, man, when he'd be walking around. He had this look, it was like 60s hipster jazz club when we'd go places, and he just had a style that I thought was, and watching him hurdle indoors, I got to see him hurdle a lot more indoors than outdoors, and, but who is the, talk to me about Aries. Do you guys talk a bit?
Yeah, we talk a bit, but not to the point where it's like every day. I kind of frisky or anything. Like I'll send him film, or if I just want to check in on him and in his health, I'll send a message. But it's not nothing like every day that we make sure we talk.
Mm-hmm. What did you get to talk to him after he competed this season? Have you got to talk to him much about why he wanted to compete this season?
We were able to talk at Boston games. Just, as everybody knows, Aries had the kidney transplant, and he's trying to stay active in the sport. But Aries is someone I always looked up to talking to, and I really enjoyed everything that we did in the sport. Racing him when I was.
Can we talk about world champs in Eugene next year?
I will pass.
Okay, cool. Okay. What did you think about competing at Hayward this year? Did you like the stadium?
Yeah, it was a beautiful stadium. I think they did an amazing job. I heard rumors that it wasn't completely done. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the final product is. But from everything that I saw, I really enjoyed it, especially the new the old warm area was already good enough, but the indoor paddock where they take us and they fish us out to the outdoor track. I mean, I think they did a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did so you competed in the one meet in Hungary. Was there a crowd at that meet at all?
Yeah, it was definitely it was a crowd. Hungary was almost back open up all the way. Right now it's just the point where I think they were just trying to keep the meet going and just try to get back to some normalcy.
Did you have to wear a mask on the plane going back and forth?
Yes.
Okay. And did you get vaccinated?
Yes. Fully vaccinated.
Good. I just want you to stay safe.
Yes, sir.
I heard about a couple athletes today who said they weren't vaccinated, and I'm trying to respect people's stuff, but I just, young people think that nothing can happen to them, and I just want people to stay safe. That's the key.
It starts with people like you, just constantly reminding, us about things that we need to do, and just basically just staying in the now.
Yeah. Now, your mom and dad don't get to go over, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you get to see them before you go?
We will keep that in the air. I know they're giving me my space to train and everything like that, but for the most part, I kind of just been in my own circle. Like I have other things that I got to do once my time is up with you. I got to make sure everything is situated around this house, with the internet. And, I looked outside when we were doing the interview today and one of my sprinkler heads done popped off. So I got to get a guy to come out here and look at that. So, I mean, it's just, just trying to, make sure everything is good when you leave. So when you come back, it's even better.
Well, Grant, you survived another interview with me. And thanks again, my friend. It's always great seeing you. I was so proud of you in the stadium in Eugene. You handled things very well, but there was it was a very relaxed and happy smile with you when you and the guys went around the track for your victory lap. And I want you to enjoy and savor that lap in Tokyo. Okay. And we'll be thinking about you, and I'll be in the remote presser asking you questions afterwards. Just remember that, okay?
I'm probably gonna blow off everybody, so make sure you say your name loud and proud, because I'm gonna be like, hey, that's my brother right there.
Thanks, man. Grant, thank you so much. This is Larry Eder with RunBlogRun. We've just done a Socially the Distance with Grant Holloway just before he's heading to Tokyo. Best wishes and stay safe, my friend.
Thank you so much, brother. I can't wait to talk to you again.
Hey, sports fans, it's Larry Eder. This is RunBlogRun and your favorite program, Socially the Distance, your favorite section, the Epilogue, where I get to rant. Okay, how do I say this? I just had my second interview with Grant Holloway in a year, or actually in 3 or 4 months, and Grant is one of the finest competitors I have ever interviewed. How good is he in 35 years of interviews? Number 1 is Emil Zatopek. Number 2 is Haile Gebrselassie. I got 6 hours with Haile, 9 hours with Emil, and I just did 40 minutes with Grant. Grant not only gets it, he thrives on it. And it's kind of the thing like there are famous basketball coaches and famous football coaches and famous baseball coaches and famous track coaches that will tell you about getting into the now. Grant not only gets it, but he does it. At the Olympic trials, he went 13:11 and he looked smooth, and it was about 102 degrees. And the next day he comes back and he drops a 12:81. The world record is 12:80. When Aries Merritt ran 12:80 back in 2012, the race before that he had been DQ'd. And he told me later that it kind of helped him focus. What Grant is showing you in the way that he puts things together with his coach and with his team is that he's focused on being as close to perfection as he can. And it's not a game. It's not BS. It's not hype. He has confidence and a healthy confidence. And he can take on Orlando Ortega. He can take on Sergey Shivenkov. He can take on Devon Allen. He can take on anyone. I am sad to say that he will not have Omar McLeod in the race. And that's not Grant's fault or Omar's fault. That's the Jamaican Federations, and they screwed up that one completely. But that's another time we'll talk about that. What we have here with Grant is an example of one of the finest athletes, if not the finest, in this generation. I think he's a lot of fun to interview. He's amazing to watch race. He's amazing to analyze his race. And it's amazing to kind of soak in his aura and what's going on, because it's a complete picture. I've met his parents, solid family. He knows he's loved. He knows he's supported. He's got a coach, athlete relationship, advisor coach. He's got teammates. He's got people who make sure that he doesn't buy his own BS. Okay. But that bubble is what's helping him. This last 15 months of training has taken him to be able to take down one of the immortals, Colin Jackson's record. Colin was an amazing hurdler. He's also a fine announcer too. I love listening to him on BBC and listening to his analysis. But that was a big deal, and he will get Aries Merritt's record. That'll be a big deal too. The hurdle the 110 hurdles, the sprint hurdles, the women's 100 hurdles, the 110 hurdles, the sprint 60s are some of the most precise events in our sport. Precision is key. And Ronaldo Nehemiah told me one time that it's all about having control and letting up control. And I'm fascinated with watching hurdlers. And I've been fascinated with watching Grant since he's come around. He's had good races, he's had bad races, he's had in between. But he seems like he's on that roll right now. He's put himself in the right place, not only physically, but mentally. And that's what's really key. In the next 15 days, I think we're going to see history being made in Tokyo. And I believe that by August 6th, we'll see Grant with a gold medal around his neck. And we'll see if they let him run a relay, too. I think he could be fun on that as well. But his interviews are always a lot of fun. There were a couple of classic moments today. I asked him who the top 4 hurdlers are at this time, and he said Grant Holloway, G. Holloway, Stanley Grant Holloway, and there's another name in there, and I was just cracking up. But it's a perfect gift for clip. We'll have it up. You'll see it. You may see that before you even see the interview. But a tremendous interview today, and we thank Grant for taking the time before he goes to Tokyo. This is Larry Eder with your favorite program, Socialing the Distance. This is the epilogue to Socialing the Distance. Stay safe. Get vaccinated. Okay? Take care.